Montana may also see a ballot initiative to cement a right to abortion in its state constitution. After being caught up in legal action for weeks, the state Supreme Court finalized language on the measure that is backed by Planned Parenthood of Montana. The Law and Justice Interim Committee is reviewing the initiative on April 18th, but since the petition is already approved by the Supreme Court and in the signature gathering phase, it's unclear if a committee review will impact the measure. The Attorney General in Montana, Austin Knudsen, worked to block the ballot proposal for abortion. He joins us now to talk about it. Welcome to the show. First, can you walk us through all of this legal back and forth? Your office deemed the initial proposal legally insufficient, saying that it had contradictory language and a couple of other hurdles. The Montana Supreme Court then reversed that decision. Can you explain why you thought the original proposal was insufficient?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. So the big reason we found it legally insufficient is that Montana law is very clear on these voter initiatives, these constitutional referendums. They can only be single subject. And we found that the Planned Parenthood language, because that's who pushed this referendum, it log rolled. That's the term that we used. They wrapped several issues into that one initiative, and they're trying to log roll. So put too many topics on the ballot at one time. That we found was legally insufficient. Apparently that didn't apply in this case, according to the Montana Supreme Court. They overturned that. At that point, my office, we found that Planned Parenthood's language was quite misleading. Frankly, it was quite flowery and vague. So we rewrote the language for the ballot with very factual, very dry factual statement of what that language would actually do. Again, the court didn't like that. Planned Parenthood didn't like that. So they took the extraordinary step, the Montana Supreme Court, of number one, rewriting the language themselves, but number two, deciding that they could bypass the step of going to the legislative committee and just send this right out for signature gathering before the legislature had a chance to even look at this. That's unprecedented here, but apparently that's what happens when Planned Parenthood funds your election campaigns to the Montana Supreme Court.
Now, what recourse do you have then, knowing that there really is a violation of the processes and also the true separation of powers even at the state level? Is there an appeal that you have in mind should this go through and continue?
Well, at this point, I mean, we don't have an appeal. The Montana Supreme Court is our highest state court of appeals in the state. We've been to them a couple of times here. They've made very clear that they want to help Planned Parenthood get this thing out and get them to signature gathering. If there's an action to be taken here, I think it's by either the voters of Montana or possibly by the Montana legislature.
So then abortion really is legal in Montana until viability if you're under 16. What does the parental notification reality look like?
Well, this is a really interesting one. So clear back in 2013, Montana voters by almost 3-1 approved a voter initiative that required parental consent, not just notification, parental consent. That tells you that 75% of Montanans agree with that. That was challenged clear back in 2013 by Planned Parenthood. The Montana Supreme Court, to no one's surprise, blocked that. I mean, the ones who are really out of step here with Montana is clearly Planned Parenthood and the Montana Supreme Court. But with this proposed initiative, the way they've got it drafted, yeah, it would block any parental consent, parental notification. I mean, my daughter can't get an aspirin at her school without my consent. But if this crazy voter initiative passes, they're going to say that she can have an abortion without me even knowing about it, without my even notification, let alone my consent. That's completely out of step with your average Montanan.
And it's out of step with your average American. Is there anything else that you have that you think that you think that Montanans should know as they approach the ballot box?
Well, I think it's really important for them to know just how extraordinarily the extraordinary measures that the Montana Supreme Court took in this case to get Planned Parenthood's ballot initiative out for signature gathering. I don't think they would bend over like that and go to such extraordinary measures for any kind of right-wing organization like the NRA, maybe a pro-life organization. I don't see it I don't see it happening. I mean, Planned Parenthood spends a tremendous amount of money funding these justices' campaigns for election and re-election in Montana. And that's what I think Montanans need to know.
Well, it looks like you've got some investigative work to do there to bring that to light a little bit more. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks.